Hi everyone, my name is Kim. It's kind of a dreary day today. Rain and just no sun. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about this afternoon about prejudice. We all know that prejudice, it started in the 1920s, the early 1920s. There was a lot of prejudice, with African American people or just Africans. So, and right up to the Second World War, as you can see, there was a lot of prejudice during World War II. Jewish people, those that are African American, those that were not, of what they call or what Hitler called the Aryan race, the white skin, the blonde hair, blue eyes. And so he wanted to keep, this is his thinking, the race pure, that it would only be, an Aryan race, blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin. But there was prejudice against the Jewish people. Millions and millions, like just billions, and it just goes on, of Jewish people that died at the hands of Hitler, because Hitler thought of them as subhuman, not good enough, because they didn't have the blonde hair and blue eyes, the white skin. They just viewed them as, a lower race, and a race that deserves nothing but death. Okay, so, and then we have prejudice leading into, was it the Civil War? I think there was some racism against African Americans. We had the KKK, white supremacist group, killing African Americans because of prejudice. They viewed them as same thing as Hitler, subhuman, just nothing, view them as they're not people to give any consideration to or anything. Okay, so there are some examples of prejudice. Now, there are a couple of ways that people kind of justify their prejudice behavior. So we're going to talk psychologically, people that are psychologically prejudiced. So these kind of people, they suffer from low self-esteem. They get anxious and, just those sort of things. But they justify, themselves saying, being prejudiced, and they're saying that, basically these people, African Americans, Spanish people also were targets, Jewish people, just any person that has darker skin. There's a lot of prejudice around that. These nationalities. So psychologically, a person, like I said, they have low self-esteem, and so they want to project onto, say, an African American person or a Jewish person or something. They would say, this race, they're not even human. They don't they don't deserve, the things that we, as white people should be entitled to. But these people do not, they're not entitled to have what we have. That kind of mentality is psychologically, and they project their fears, onto people. And the thing is that prejudice, it starts when, it starts when you're young. If you are raised in a home where people are prejudiced and they're constantly, berating, people of different ethnic backgrounds, they're berating them, they're abusing them, verbally abusing them, calling them, a bunch of dogs, or that these type of people don't deserve to live in our world. So and so when a child, as it grows up in that kind of environment, where the parents are constantly, here's the nigger, or here's the, they would make fun of other races. And so, as a child grows up, and it's almost like they're being conditioned to behave this way because their parents are very prejudiced or racist. And so that is going to rub off on that child. That kind of mentality or ideology will rub off from the child, and the child will grow up to be just like the parents, racist, and making fun of people of different races, because they're not white-skinned, So, yeah, that's where it starts, for people who are prejudiced. I would imagine for those kind of people, they grew up in a environment where racism was rampant and talked about a lot. So that's, that's how it starts. Now we're going to talk about racism in like society's rules or social norms. We know also in the 60s there was segregation. Whites could not mix with black people, African American. So they went to separate schools. Bathrooms were separate too. Everything was kind of separate. They couldn't have any sort of interaction or being around like Caucasian people. They could not have any interaction with African American people. There was a lot of racism. So like I said, around that time there was the KKK, killing, the African Americans, and feeling justified to cleanse the world of these subhuman beings. And this is a monstrosity. This is really, it's really actually getting worse. Racism is getting worse. It is not getting better. It's getting worse, and it will be. But okay, so social norms. So if you have a group of friends that one person says, oh no, here's the dirty African American person coming up to say hello or something. And so, like at school, everyone has those social circles. And if you're part of a social circle, and a person is racist to other races, they're prejudiced, you know, everyone of this child's friends, the child that's racist, it's going to be spread all around their social circle. You know, they're going to adopt that kind of mentality. You know, if they dare to speak up out against it, you know, or to think critically of it, it's like they are oust out of that social circle, because this social circle, you know, they're you know, they agree with all these kind of racial ideologies, and so, but on a larger scale, say like society on a whole, yeah, I mean, African Americans nowadays, there's still a little bit of prejudice for African Americans, but it's not as bad as years ago in the 60s and in the 1920s, or even World War II. It's you know, the world we live in now. You know, whites are a lot, you know, Caucasian people are a lot more, you know, open-minded and you know, don't think, you know, that, you know, this person's color or this person's race is, oh, I don't want to hang out with them, you know, they're a bad influence or they're just bad people. But that's not happening. There's more acceptance. You know, there's no more segregation. You know, bathrooms, schools, going to the movies, any sort of entertainment or education in the education field. But still, there is still, you know, that small percentage that still hold on to those racist ideologies. You know, we still have the white supremacist groups. You know, we still have the kind of, you know, the neo-Nazi people. Anyway, my time is getting pretty, I'm going to talk quickly here. Also, there could be prejudice, you know, in the workforce. You know, when we, you know, say if, you know, if a person, you know, is in a large company, you know, they're an executive, you know, they're successful, you know, they make 6-figure salary or something, and when they see, say, an African American or Hispanic, you know, when they you know, working in the same company that they're working in, and if they grew up, you know, in an environment that is racist, they're going to project onto these people, the African American and the Hispanic, and they're going to say, you know what, you don't have the intelligence, you know, to do this type of job, you know, so you really don't belong here, because you're not smart enough to be competent and to work here in the company. So that's another racial or prejudice. Because of their skin color, you know, they're going to project, the Caucasian person's going to project, you know, their fears and just their hatred of different nationalities in the workforce. Okay, so this is very interesting because, you know, it's, you know, as years go by, you know, I think it's, you know, going to get worse. yeah, so anyway, I am way over my time here, and I hope this video was informative for you. And I hope you have a good rest of the day. And I'm going to say goodbye.